After the time is done, punch the dough. Hello everyone and welcome to the Scuffed kitchen. Today we are making a delicious Italian treat, ciabatta bread. As support, I got my cousin to cook for me this time around. So, what exactly is ciabatta bread?
Ciabatta is an Italian white bread. It's a flat, elongated bread with a crispy crust and a soft, airy crumb. Honestly, it's also quite easy to make. However, there's a few things that could go wrong. The secret is manual kneading.
We are planning to cook a lasagna next, so this makes this bread the perfect side dish. Stay tuned for an upcoming lasagna video, by the way. Today's ingredients are quite simple, as you might have guessed. A true ciabatta doesn't need much. We will use 500 grams of plain wheat flour, dry yeast, brown sugar, salt, freshly crushed white pepper, and warm water. Lastly, the oil that makes this bread so special, olive oil. The first step of the mise en place is to crush the peppercorns and salt together in a mortar. We want to crush the pepper as fine as possible. After mortaring everything, set the pepper mix aside. The next super annoying step is to sieve all the white flour. This step is important to make sure there won't be any lumps, so please don't skip it. After the flour, we'll also sieve the pepper mix. But why?
The outer shell of the peppercorns contains some elements that are tad too bitter for this recipe. By sieving them out, the bread will have a more rounded taste.
That makes sense. So, after the pepper, we'll also add the yeast and sugar. Give it a thorough stir and mix well. Afterwards, add the warm water. It should be at least at or above room temperature. This makes sure the yeast activates and actually starts the process. Add the fragrant olive oil, then start mixing everything with a hand mixer or KitchenAid.
By kneading the dough this way for at least 10 minutes, the gluten strings will form, making the kneading by hand later more easy.
Well, there you go. Thoroughly mix for around 10 minutes. You can do this by hand, but it will definitely take longer. Once the dough came together, gently let it fall on a floured surface. Form a ball. Then place the dough in a large bowl to rise. Cover it with a dry towel. Do not use cling film, as that might cause the dough to sweat.
You will see that over the next 45 minutes the dough will massively gain volume. This is the yeast making the dough extra fluffy.
After the time is done, punch the dough. Good job, I guess. Now, use a plastic or metal scraper to carefully remove the dough from the bowl and let it fall onto a floured surface. And with that, it's time for the mentioned hand kneading. Once you're happy with the consistency, fold the dough in itself and form long cylinders. Those will be the loaves of bread later. Set them aside on a floured baking sheet again and let it rest for another 20 minutes or so. They will rise again and make the dough extra airy. Preheat your oven to 220 degrees Celsius. All that's left to do is take these beautiful loaves and put them in the oven for around 20 to 25 minutes.
Don't forget to check how brown the crust is getting started at the 20-minute mark. Every oven is slightly different, so the 25 minutes is just a rough estimation.
To check whether the loaf is done, pick it up and gently knock a few times. After that, set it aside to cut. This bread tastes best when it is freshly out of the oven. And with that, we are done. So, what's the verdict?
The crust is crispy, the crumb is airy. Both the white pepper and the olive oil make for an awesome aroma. And the taste, especially with a bit of butter, is just divine.
And there you have it. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. And while you're here, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time!